Okay, there we go. Got some sound going now. I was just checking CoinMarketCap here on my phone. Because guys, I have way too many tabs open on my PC, my laptop here. Thinking about getting some extra RAM to throw in there. Although one big help has been Pocket. If you aren't using Pocket, it's a Firefox extension, and it's also on Brave browser. You can just throw tabs in there for a later date, so you don't have to have a million tabs open that you might want to read or might want to watch or might want to use at a later date. You can always just throw them in your Pocket with any tags you want. So that's pretty cool. So I've been using that, and now I can refer back to Pocket every once in a while. You guys heard about this Signals Network ICO? So I signed up for the whitelist yesterday, and I'm thinking about it. It reminds me a lot about a lot of similarities with Sentiment. So Sentiment coin or Naga coin has some similarities, although Naga coin is very wider range of things that they do. They're trying to tackle almost everything. One ICO that I did invest in was Naga. But if Signals goes the same way as Sentiment, then it should be good. And I think it should do well. Although other companies are trying to do the same thing, you know, and you can get trading signals for free right now, and not a lot of people even use them. So for that reason, I don't think, you know, I'm trying to invest in a lot of tokens or buy tokens that I'm going to use or that I would use, although I don't know if I would use this, to be honest, because I could get free trading signals online. Although these networks do give you, you know, they improve on the blockchain, track records and reviews and things like that. So you can see who has made the most money off of those signals and who has the best signals and who, you know, can predict the market the best and follow their trading signals. So that is good. Although there's a ton of Telegram groups and things out there now, and it can get pretty hectic. You got to find the right one for you, and that can be pretty hard. But anyways, guys, we've got some news today to cover. But first, you guys heard about the law of attraction, right? So I'll welcome you guys to say this with me and throw some excitement in there, because really the law of attraction works off emotion. So throw some excitement, throw some, you know, how it would feel, and say it with me if you'd like. I'm crypto rich. I'm a crypto millionaire. I have been very successful in my crypto trades. Because really, if you're focusing on all of the mistakes you make, you're just going to perpetuate that cycle and make more. So, and even if you haven't made the right choices, you can pretend you have, and it'll do you a world of good. So the law of attraction we try to use here on this show a lot. So let's get into some news. What do we have for today? Well, we're gonna start a series. I've been working all day on trying to get an introduction for the series, an introduction video together, and some working in Photoshop and things like that, and my video editing software. So it can get pretty tedious and time consuming, but I said screw it, let's go with what we have. So here is my intro for our new series. We're going to start every Friday. If we don't get a chance to do it on Friday, we'll do it on Saturday, but it's going to be crypto catch up, this week in crypto type series. So here's our introduction.
Bitcoin and things like it is the equivalent of the red pill.
This is a technology, it's a computing language, and I can build an app on it.
Is Bitcoin the
cryptocurrency of the future.
Crypto gang, it's the game, big gang, alt gang, light gang, cash game, blockchain. Whoa, I don't really ever buy stocks, man. No. Haters wanna say I'm in a bubble, man. No. Chew them up like bubble gum. No. Just made a meal with my pocket change. No. Wreck about to go and join the HODL gang. HODL gang, HODL gang, HODL gang. Crypto gang, it's the game, big gang, alt gang, light gang, cash game, blockchain. Whoa, I don't really ever buy stocks, man. No. Haters wanna say I'm in a bubble, man. No.
Okay, so we're gonna go over more of small bite-sized pieces of news. Focus on one thing at a time. And what we're gonna focus on this video is the recent Senate hearing this week. One of the biggest pieces of news in the past week. So the Senate, the United States of America, the U.S. Senate had a hearing. All right, and this is not the first hearing they've had. Actually, I went over in a recent video that these hearings have been happening year after year after year in country to country. This is not a new thing. This one, however, I think was just used to spread fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Right? The media is really to blame right now for a lot of the prices in cryptocurrencies. But are they doing it on purpose? Who knows? Because the media's job and how the media runs is it blows things out of proportion. It works off of the dramatic effect of things and makes them seem a lot bigger and more important than they can be sometimes, and makes negative things sell, a lot more than positive things. And we've actually, I'm not so sure that's going to be the way it is going into the future, but the media sells negativity, right? So let's go into do some research and see what actually happened. Some key points. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but I do want to go over our honorable head of the Commodities Futures Trade Commission that explained the term HODL to the Senate in this hearing and what it meant. So we're going to look into that. We're also going to look into whether governments are allowed to even own cryptocurrencies right now, and see what the United States government's doing about that, and the Russian government's doing with some of these things. Also, I'll share with you a little bit of news that I'm going to cover in the next video, the next part to this this crypto catch-up, because I'm trying to do shorter videos. So this one will be about 15-20 minutes. If you haven't already, hit the likes, hit the bell, and we'll see you guys on our weekly crypto catch-up videos. Also, more people need to see our videos, and it's just, I really shouldn't even be doing videos at this point because I don't have enough of an audience. So really I should be focusing on spreading, creating a community and things like that. I'm just so used to doing videos now that it's hard to get out of that cycle. When you have to say that you're addicted to working, it's not such a bad thing, but change is always good, right? So I'm going to change it up, and I'm going to focus on some other things, not so much videos. That's why I'm doing this weekly show. We'll do a couple weekly shows, and then maybe, a short video here and there. So one thing I wanted to just share quickly is this is very interesting. Shower yourself with Bitcoin. What do you think that means? I guarantee you're not thinking what it actually is. although I mentioned Toronto and Alphabet are working together to create, in the city of Toronto, the first digital city where you should be able to shower yourself with Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, because you might have to pay for the water with digital money, because everything will be digital and connected to a digital layer. And currencies like IOTA are supposed to be for paying things in that type of environment where everything's machines, robots, and digital, and needs a digital currency. But IOTA has very bad public perception right now. They were having some wallet issues where it seemed like they were stealing people's money. People just didn't understand how to do this, or there was a bug in the system, something like that. I don't hold my IOTA in an IOTA wallet. I hold it on an exchange, sadly, but it's good, to understand if there's any bugs or anything in these wallets before you move them. There's right now there's this woke cash that you can get some of for free. All you have to do is download the wallet, send your wallet address to them on Twitter, and you can find that Twitter post on my Twitter. I retweeted it, so if you're interested in that. But I did download the wallet, and my computer was giving me warnings that it could be some sort of dangerous software, so I haven't installed it yet. I'm going to do that on my my laptop that's kind of ready for the dumps. The screen's cracked, but I can still plug it into my my TV through HDMI, so I'll do risky things on that laptop and not on this laptop. So just wanted to mention that, so if you were wondering about malicious wallets and things like that, it's just not worth it, guys. There's so many airdrops that you can get without having to risk your computer. And these things, they're not really worth anything at the moment anyways. That's why they're giving them away. Just like Bitcoin in the beginning, right? They had to spread them. They're giving out 10,000 Bitcoin for free to anybody who wanted them in the early days. And that's why it is probably smart to get some airdrops, and we'll share airdrops with you on a weekly basis, as well as there's this new site called Bounty Hub. You can check that out for bounties. So showering with Bitcoin. Want to take a nice hot Bitcoin shower? Bathe in some Ethereum? Breathe in the calming altcoin fumes after a long hard day. As ridiculous as it sounds, you really can clean yourself using the power of blockchain. Please, no one tell Silicon Valley. So this is basically a pet project someone had. Just ask Reddit user Limping Zebra, who posted a video of his Bitcoin mining rig powered shower. So basically, I think he's using these Bitcoin mining rigs to heat his water, as well as using the water to cool down his mining rigs. And maybe even the fans work as kind of like a pump. Interesting, eh? Maybe he doesn't have a hot water heater. This is a very, very creative idea. I'm sure it had something to do with cooling down his mining rigs. The things you can find on the internet these days, guys. There's someone who's tried everything. And that's why, people that have a lot of followers, John McAfee, Ivan on Tech, Boxmine, these people have all been victims, even Binance, I think, recently, to people creating fake social media accounts. Because if you have that many followers, a couple of those followers will be stupid. They'll buy anything. If you try to sell your followers something, a couple of them will always buy it. If you just have, a huge number of followers, just, the vast amount of numbers just makes it more likely for someone to fall for something, or the different types of people that follow you, are very spread out when you have a lot of followers like that, right? So same thing with Reddit. The different types of people on Reddit, it's amazing, guys. And we'll share with you some stuff on Reddit, like the origin of HODL. We'll share with you that original post. We've had it in our pocket, like I said, just waiting for an occasion to share it. So the U.S. Senate just learned what Bitcoiners mean by HODL, right? So if you didn't see this hearing, this is something you should know. If you have seen this hearing, you've probably read an article or two like this as well. So at a hearing on cryptocurrency regulation, I won't go too much into it because I know some of you have probably already seen or know about this. It was up to J. Christopher Giancarlo, head of the U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC, if you ever see that, that's what it means, to explain the meaning of the Bitcoiner rallying cry HODL to the members of the U.S. Senate Banking Committee. So it goes on and explains why he the question he was asked when he gave this answer. And actually, we'll share the video with you so we don't have to read that. Just share, exactly what happened. Except you guys can't hear it, sorry. Good thing I think about these things. Yeah. I hate, ruining a video because of something like that. Ruins the whole video. So I'll try to get this working for us. Just give me a second. The sound. Yeah, it's probably not going to, I don't want to spend too much time wasted on this. But basically what he was saying was his niece holds cryptocurrency, and she is hodling long term. So he was trying to explain, basically, he was also asked, what are cryptocurrencies? Are they securities? Are they a currency? Are they a store of value or commodity assets? Are they investments, like stocks? Or is it just, something like a meme, right? Where people are just buying it because it's cool. And basically, they are all of these things, all of the above. Is the answer he gave them. He said it depends how you use it, and they're used in multiple different ways. If you're holding it, if you're putting money into it long term as a store of value, then it would fall under the jurisdiction of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. If like some of these ICOs are more like securities, when they when the value of the token goes up, or you receive profits from the company, as the company does well in profits and makes money, then this is a security, and those people need to worry. And they gave a strict warning about people promoting securities, especially in the United States. It's becoming more of a global joint effort, so you're going to see these things ripple into the rest of the world. But they did give us a warning, a very clear warning, again on that in that hearing to the public, that you're going to fall under the laws of securities if you're promoting these cryptocurrencies that are like securities. So people who promoted BitConnect think that they did not do anything wrong. They actually did, because they were promoting securities that were not regulated. They actually, you know, if you really think about it and look at it from the side of the lawmakers and the law, there's a lot to pick at there with what those you know, those YouTube promoters were doing. Especially not warning them about the risks. You know, in every video, if you're telling someone to invest in something, you should be you know, warning about the risks, or at least telling them not to invest their whole paycheck. This is the responsibility. You know, with great power comes great responsibility, and I think some of these YouTubers didn't really realize that yet. Hopefully they'll get a, you know, a warning, but I know some people want them to go to jail, but we'll have to see about that. So basically, guys, this is the original post where the word HODL came from, or at least this is what people have found as you know, one of the earliest posts that HODL was used in. So I'll share this down below in the description. It's quite interesting. Basically, he's saying, you know, he holds because he's not a professional trader. And basically, this was published in 2013. So right when we had that last huge crash. So it'd be a good time to look at this and see his perspective. And then he's also saying, he mentioned BTC a couple times. Still, I typed that title twice, so HODL, because I knew it was wrong the first time. Still wrong. Whatever. Girlfriend's out at a lesbian bar. Bitcoin's crashing. Why am I hodling? I'll tell you why. It's because I'm a bad trader, and I know I'm a bad trader. Yeah, you good traders can spot the highs and the lows. So guys, if you're just getting into this, you got to know where your strengths and weaknesses are, and you're not going to be an expert overnight. So you're better off. I lost a lot of money in the beginnings learning this lesson of not to try to day trade when I didn't really know how to. I was gambling, and when you gamble, you lose money. If you gamble enough, the odds are you're going to lose more than you're going to win, because it's so hard to predict this volatility. And he's basically saying it's a zero-sum game. So as long as you hold, you can't lose, right? There's nothing, it doesn't cost you anything to hold. So the longer you hold, it doesn't mean, you know, it costs you anything to hold. So as long as you just hold in times of crashes, you won't lose anything. It's paper losses, and until you sell, you're not actually you know, creating those profits or losses in reality. You're not solidifying them. Someone said, "Great story, bro." Cool story, bro. So let's move on. Here, this article is saying soon members of the U.S. Congress may have to disclose their Bitcoin holdings. This was January 4th, 2018. Should Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies attract stringent government regulations? It's a question that has divided experts and the investor community worldwide in two diametrically opposite point of views. But surprisingly, not much has been talked about what happens if federal officials and members of Congress are holding onto a significant amount of cryptocurrencies as investments themselves. So this relates to, you know, our head of the Commodities Futures Trading Commission that said his niece is holding Bitcoin. Let's just hang on to that thought. Should they be made to declare their Bitcoin holdings like they are required to file regular reports on their assets such as bonds, derivatives, and stocks? And even, you know, he got called out and asked, when was the last time you bought a stock and this and that? And you could tell it was, you know, it kind of was prying into his privacy a little bit. And, you know, anyways, the point here is, if someone's, you know, it really doesn't help the holders. It helps the people that are opposed and that are trying to regulate it. Because if you're holding cryptocurrencies and you're pro cryptocurrencies and trying to say, oh, we shouldn't regulate it and this and that, they know that you have motivation to be doing that and incentive, I guess, right? But the question still remains, are they allowed to hold? Is it something that they have to be afraid of, admitting that they own cryptocurrency? Here we have the Russian government officials who won't have to report cryptocurrency income and expenditures in their financial reports for 2017. The decision was made by the country's labor ministry, citing the lack of regulation for blockchain. Does this mean that corruption will flourish in the cryptosphere? Russian Labor Ministry, in cooperation with the Presidential Administration and General Prosecutor's Office, annually issues recommendations for state employees on the declaration of income and property. The 2018 document, however, for state employees, this 2018 document, however, mentioned cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin or Ether for the first time in history. So now in 2018, they have to declare, as 2017 they didn't, because of, you know, the lack of agreement, regulation, and actually, you know, the lack of verification that these were legit or mattered, right? Russian bill, so this is an article actually more recently, so the other one was in the beginning of January. This one is, you know, near the end of January, saying a Russian bill draft requires government officials to declare crypto assets. So it's confirmed by Cointelegraph. While Hong Kong regulators will continue to police crypto exchanges and sales, you know, a lot of this news, this media, it doesn't help the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. That's why I am trying to be more conscious of the news that I share on this channel and try to make it more positive news. Drafting laws and hodling. U.S. Congress discusses cryptocurrency disclosure. U.S. lawmakers have been ramping up their efforts to regulate Bitcoin and other digital currencies, obviously, right? While not disclosing their investments in cryptocurrency. So, ethics and government transparency groups want politicians to fully disclose digital cryptocurrency holdings. I think it's more important that they disclose positions, like short positions, long positions, because if they have a short position opened and then you see them trying to say, oh, we need to crack down, we need to do this, that, cryptos are bad, cryptos are going to lose everyone money, then we can see their motivation. So you understand what I'm saying here, right? Over the past few months, U.S. regulators and appointed lawmakers have been researching and drafting regulatory guidelines for digital assets like Bitcoin. Last year, the Colorado Democrat Jared Polis and Arizona Republican David Swankert, right, initiated the Congressional Blockchain Caucus, whatever, caucus. The caucus was, YouTube's probably going to think I'm saying something else with their, you know, automatic transcription. But anyways, their caucus was created to help bureaucrats develop regulatory policies towards cryptocurrencies and their blockchain networks. Both Sweetcard and police established the Cryptocurrency Tax Fairness Act. Sounds nice. Although a lot of these laws, these regulations that are passed, they're given names like this, right? Like the Tax Fairness Act. And if you read deeper, a lot of times, they're actually not anything to do with the title. The title is kind of like a cover, right? Oh, the Tax Fairness Act, it's a good thing, and then you don't read into it. It's actually a bad thing, right? And guys, you got to pay attention, or sorry, you don't have to pay attention, but not a lot of people do pay attention to the laws that are being passed behind our backs. You'll notice when there's something huge going on in the news and in the world, when the news is talking about something so much and trying to make it seem like a big deal, right? You've had this, you can recognize this when it happens, right? So someone was kidnapped, there's a child missing, right? And they go over and over and over. Well, there's thousands of children that go missing every year, in every country. So when they're focusing on this type of thing, ask yourself, what laws are being passed right now? Are they trying to distract us from, what's going on behind the scenes, or are they trying to pass a law that we wouldn't be okay with, and trying to get you caught up in some sort of drama, right? A lot of the Trump stuff, I feel is like this, right? It's like, who cares? Like, it doesn't. The Russians infiltrated the election, or whatever they're trying to say. Did you know that the United States of America has infiltrated every single country except North Korea so far, and Russia? North Korea and Russia are the only countries they don't have control of and don't have bases in, and they even have some bases in Russia and things like that, and they do have some areas of North Korea that they have bases on. Some common ground, right, where they're both allowed to be. So we also have seen that a lot of times, well, right now we're even, we said the Russians aren't allowed to participate in the Winter Olympics. The Russians are the powerhouse. They're a powerhouse in the Winter Olympics. The Winter Olympics is very metaphorical. The Olympics in general is a very is symbolic, is the word I'm looking for. Do you know what it actually represents? It represents all of the nations coming together as one, a one world government, a one world currency, if you will. This is what it represents, a plan that's been here, been being worked on for a long time. The United Nations is a big part of that plan. This is a ritual, basically, a symbolic ritual that's going on. And that the fact that we're not allowing Russia to officially participate, that is symbolic as well. Even Russia, Putin has said, the only reason they're doing this is because they believe, or they're holding grudges, or at least trying to victimize us as hacking the US election. That is the reason they're doing this. Not anything they're saying it's about doping or some sort of scandal. No, you don't exclude an entire nation because of a doping scandal. You take people's medals away, yes, but you don't exclude a nation from the Olympics. North Korea is participating in the Olympics. Although this is symbolic as well, that they are participating with South Korea as one country. Right? So we see what may come in the coming years by these huge symbolic events like the Olympics. They are a sign of what's to come. And that's all I'll say about that, right? The rest is just speculation. So it's very interesting, the policies, the politics, and that's what, you know, Russia's saying. It's politics that they're letting get in the way and not letting us participate in the Olympics because of. Politics start wars. I'll also say that. That's what starts wars, disagreements, politics. That's why we really shouldn't argue with people, and we shouldn't be against anybody. That's why people like Roger Ver are seen through right away, and the world doesn't stand for that kind of thing anymore. The people that the younger generations will want to put in power positions, that will want to follow, that will look up to, will be the people that do not have to talk down or bad about their enemies, their opponents. But, you know, old habits die hard. And they will die hard. So, Bitcoin and blockchain supporting lawmakers purposely decide to not hold cryptocurrencies due to conflict of interests. There you go. Why do you think his niece is holding Bitcoin? Did you know that I hold Bitcoin for my dad? Now we're realizing that it's probably more beneficial if he holds my cryptocurrencies. For different reasons, right? Taxes and all this stuff. So this happens, right? You let the person hold your cryptocurrency who is least demonized because of it, or is you know, does not have to pay the biggest price. And it's sad that cryptocurrency is being attacked like it is, and a lot of people are afraid to even hold it right now because of all these laws that are going on and all the things that the media is saying and the governments are saying about it. That's why we had this big sell-off. Part of the reason, anyways. Disclosing foreign currency speculation and proposing a crypto transparency rule. The Democratic representative said he plans to discuss a new regulatory guideline with U.S. Securities Exchange Commission that ensures politicians and staff disclose cryptocurrency holdings. Well, if they're demonized because of it, obviously you'd force them to disclose them. I read an article recently that said Russia did not have to disclose their cryptocurrency holdings, right? Russian government, I tried to find it. It wasn't in my pocket like I thought it was. Russian government officials won't have to report cryptocurrency income and expenditures if their financial reports. So that was in 2017. Now they have to. Because when I read that, I got kind of suspicious. You know, we have to report everything, and trust me, they take it as war. The fact that we're trying to undermine their efforts by using cryptocurrencies that are privacy oriented and that give us privacy. Look at this. I'll show you right here what I mean. Okay, CoinDesk saying U.S. lawmakers want members of Congress to disclose crypto assets. But look at this. So here's one perspective on the Senate hearing, right? It was very optimistic, and a lot of people said it was overall positive, right? And we're impressed by the overall demeanor. But you got to understand, these guys are puppets. They're just doing their job. They're not the people that are being affected by cryptocurrencies. So they weren't as angry. There was the one lady there seemed to be really angry. but she didn't talk very much, so it didn't, you know, didn't give that you know, vibe that these guys are attacking cryptocurrencies, and I think they did that on purpose. They wanted to get people together that could debate this in a positive manner, you know, to show people. Let's just move on, and you'll get my point. We just have one more thing to show, and it's, you know, 2 more things. Tweet after this, and it just seals the whole story. You know, the whole package. It gives you a clear idea of what's going on. So Bush security advisor warns against blockchain Cold War. It would be Bush's security advisor, wouldn't it? The president that had started all these wars. He wants to start a war on blockchain, right? Interesting. You know, these guys, these evil people are still in the world. These people that were in power, we think that, you know, they don't have any power now that they're not a president, but they still try to practice their power. They are power hungry, and it's not even them. It's the whole system built around them that is still there, right? Government comes in, a government leaves. The whole system built around it is still the same. That's why nothing really changes when a new government comes in. They promise a lot of changes, but it doesn't really happen, right? The man who helped invent the financial embargoes that cut off terrorist funding after 9/11. Guys, we see right through this, but a lot of people, the people that watch the news, right, they don't. The fact that they watch the news means that they don't see through the news, so they don't see through this kind of bullshit, right? That's why they're cracking down on YouTubers and taking away advertising dollars, and huge advertisers boycotted YouTube to make huge changes in now, even when you search up something, YouTube has admitted that they will keep videos up, but you can't access them. So videos that expose certain things, right? Certain things about the government. And they will, say you're trying to look up a conspiracy, you know, one side of the story. You should be allowed to see that information. Now YouTube is holding it hostage and saying you can't watch it, right? And then guess what they do? They put a video, they give you a video. So you search for one video and they give you the total opposite. They give you a video that debunks what you're trying to understand. This is not cool. This is manipulating people's minds. And it's gotten out of control. I can't even you know, explain it. It's just something that you have to experience, you have to see for yourself, right? And some people will have seen it, what's happening, and some people won't. So they're using, basically what I see is they're using terrorism, 9/11, all these things to take away your freedoms and to take away your power and give them more power. Right? Because they're losing it. They're losing it because we're waking up, because we have assistance now. You know, we're not alone. And we have assistance. Cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is a perfect example of that. We had assistance by some entity that is not here now. That came here to assist us by giving us a system that could help free us from the evil powers that be. The negative powers that, and controlling powers that be, right? A former deputy assistant of the President George W. Bush and a former deputy national security advisor for combating terrorism is widely credited for helping create sanction tools and financial instruments that put pressure on enemies of the state. I can't even read this, guys, because it makes me so sick. it makes me so sick that they could call people that are using cryptocurrencies and trying to, you know, light workers, people that are trying to make the world a better place, enemies of the state. Do you know why you're an enemy? Do you know why you are the terrorist? Because anybody who is against the government is a terrorist, right? That's the definition of a terrorist. So they're creating these laws to fight you, to take, they're all against you, to take away your rights. Because they know that we're seeing through their bullshit now. That we understand that in the Constitution, it said that if the government no longer has the best interest of the people in mind, that the people have the right to overthrow that government. So in the government's eyes, you are the enemy. The person that is not happy and does not accept the things that the government's doing is the enemy to the government. Think about it. You got to put yourself in their shoes. See it from the other side. And that's one thing that they are not good at. So CSIS. Is this... Canada has an agency, a spy agency, basically the CAIS in Canada. And it's called something like the CSIS. And they're looking into cryptocurrencies as well. Let's look into that real quick. CSIS Canadian. What the heck just happened? I pressed some sort of hotkey or something. Anyways, that's the problem with, you know, when there's hotkeys and stuff. All I'm trying to do is type in letters. Canada Spy Agency. CSIS, okay? This should be in my pocket as well, but and see, so all these agencies, all the governments are doing research. You just saw, you know, Trump sign off on a bill giving the military tons of funding to research blockchain. So what that's going to do, it wasn't Trump. Trump signed off on it. See, the system that's in place, it's very powerful, right? And the system that's in place, as soon as the technology comes around, or you know, we're given a technology, they want to use it as a weapon. That's all their interest in new technologies is a weapon. Every technology that you're given, that the public's given, was used as a weapon or researched as a weapon at least 10, 20 years before they gave it to you. Microwaves, for instance, were a weapon, right? So something to look into as well, especially if you're in Canada, is this, and see what they actually find out, or if there's any more documents released on this. The top secret CSIS document explores megatrends and how they will likely affect economy, society, and security. So from cryptocurrencies, the Canadian Security Intelligence Service, right? From cryptocurrencies to artificial intelligence, to the rise of millennials. See? The rise of millennials, guys, is a threat to them. A top secret document by the Canadian spy agency explores so-called megatrends and on its radar and details how they will transform economy, society, and security. This would be something interesting to look into. Now guys, let me just seal this off. If you're still watching, thank you. Thank you for being patient. Especially if you don't understand anything I'm talking about, which it's really not the place to be talking about it. But all these things come together, and it's when it is leaking into cryptocurrencies, how can you not talk about it, right? I don't want to have to talk about it. That's why I created a cryptocurrency YouTube channel. I don't want to focus on the negativity in the world. Because, like we said in the beginning of the video, the law of attraction, what you focus on becomes your reality. What you believe, you will perceive. What you project, you can expect. So if you're not focusing on this negativity, you won't really see it in your life, right? But if you are focusing on it all the time and being afraid of it, it will come into your life more than it will someone else. This is why, you know, some people always get these, you know, seemingly bad luck, because they're the ones that are always saying, I have bad luck. They're the ones that are always focusing on it and believing that they have bad luck. Anyways, guys, I gotta share this tweet just to show you that I'm not crazy. It's not just me. Bitcoin memes. How would you like this wrapped? Control of Bitcoin package. Corporate media, and on the back it says, oh, we'll wrap it. What wrapping paper will we use? Anti-terrorism, protecting the kids. Oh, what about starting a Cold War? Guys, you understand what I'm saying. I'm so glad this tweet's there, because I don't have to explain a lot because of this tweet. And I really didn't have to explain a lot of this. So if you listened, if you're still here, thanks a lot, guys. And thanks for being a part of this channel and, you know, going on this journey with us. So we'll see you later, guys. Peace.
Just made a meal with my pocket change. Wreck about to go and join the HODL gang. HODL gang, HODL gang, HODL gang. Ethereum pays for my rent. Bitcoin pays for the vent. Litecoin pays for the jet. Bitcoin cash for the rest. Spent 30 racks on an ICO. What coin did you buy? I forgot, yo. Just got started last night, bro. And I'm already hooked like a pipe, though. Flipping the coin, making it grow, taking it slow, letting it go. Cash flow's growing, it's incredible to watch it flow. Stacking the cash, taking it home, making it fast. I'm on a roll, little bit mo's all I ask for the bubble, though. Currently, learning about a new type of currency. Burning the dollar down like an emergency. Urgently, listen, my friends have been urging me. Coins have been surging, we're earning like surgeons.